to this Wednesday. In case you didn't know it was Wednesday, it is Wednesday, right? This Wednesday's episode of Better Together. Tonight, we have our friends Hayward and Star here. We're going to be doing a Q&A. We're going to talk all about that in just a minute. I feel like this is starting to be a trend, though, that Wade is never here on the opening of the show. It's just always me, right? So he is, as usual, putting the baby down for bed. So before we bring in Hayward and Star, I just want to chit-chat with you guys and see how y'all are doing. And just be honest about my quarantine life right now, because it is not looking so pretty. So many of you might have joined. Let me know if you're in here and you joined the quarantine challenge that we did back in May. I believe it was either April or May, guys. It may have been April. I want to say it was May though. But anyways, it was the quarantine challenge where we talked all about establishing habits and maintaining those habits and making time, that the quarantine, now is the time, right? To do all the things that we always have talked about that we would do if we had the time. So anyways, I established and set all of these goals for myself about organizing and cleaning my house every single night and exercise every single day. And man, I was knocking it out of the park, y'all. I was knocking it out of the park. Happy Wednesday, Ryan. And then 3 weeks ago, like, here is the wall and here is me. Like, I didn't just face plant into the wall. Like, I took a dive into the wall. Yeah, some of you are saying you crashed and burned. I can't even talk about how bad my crash and burn is. And so anyways, I am trying to 3 weeks, and I didn't eat all the things, but I did not make the healthiest of choices. I have not been cleaning my house at night. Thus, when I get up in the morning, I don't feel motivated because I'm like, great, now I have to clean my house. So many things. I'm just like, I really was doing so well. I was feeling so good about everything. And then, you know, it happened. We all fall off the wagon. So anyways, I wanted to encourage you guys that if you have fallen off the wagon too, you're not alone. I'm right here with you. I'm hitting that brick wall with you. I'm going to start the quarantine challenge again, though. I'm going to set it up. It is the beginning. Remember we talked about you can't wait for the beginning of a month. You can't wait for a Monday. I'm setting it up. It is on our website, hopeandwadeking.com. The quarantine challenge, it is a calendar that does not have dates. And so I am setting mine up tomorrow. Yes, it is a Thursday. Who cares? Because if you're putting it off till Monday, you're probably not going to do it Monday either, and you're going to wait till the next week, or you're going to wait till July 1st. So come do the quarantine challenge with me again for the month of June. Well, we'll call it the month of June, but it's like the Thursday in a June. But come do it with me. And so that way y'all can keep me going and motivated, because I am telling you, I have been like, somebody messaged me because I talked a little bit about it on my stories. And they said, yeah, I've been in sloth mode too. And that is exactly what I feel like. I feel like I could just like sloth off the couch, like literally. It's just been that bad. So anyways, it is on our website. You can print off the calendar. I even made some tie-dye for you guys, but it talks, and you can go back and watch the episode where we explained all about creating those habits and all of those different components of it. But join me, guys. Join me, and then get in my DMs and say, are you sticking to it? Are you sticking to it? I need motivation, guys. I need motivation. That's why this is called Better Together. Because I need y'all just as much, if not more, than y'all ever need me. So anyways, that's what's been going on around here. Also, Wade's not down here. And so for all of my ladies here tonight, which I feel like most of the time it is ladies. I mean, sometimes they're, Ryan, I know you're in here. Sometimes there's some gentlemen that join us. But so Wade went to the store today, and I just went upstairs to get ready. If y'all could have seen me before, 12 minutes ago. We should have an episode called Come As You Are, and whatever you look like that day, that's how you come. But anyways, I go up and I get ready just to brush my hair and, try to get myself together. And there is a razor in a box sitting on my sink. And so I don't know if that's some kind of message to me that maybe I've let myself go a little bit too much during this quarantine. I don't know. Ladies, what does it mean when your husband returns from the store and there's a razor in a box sitting on the counter where you get ready? I don't know. Y'all let me know what that means. I'm feeling some type of way about it. But anyway, so there's that. We'll have to find out from Wade. Maybe Hayward and Star can let us know, what that means for our marriage and if we're at a good place or not. Yeah, that's the status of our marriage right now, guys. So anyways, that is all the things that's happening in the King's household. Maybe TMI. Chase, should we get a little Chase cam action? If you're on Instagram, you're missing it, but Chase doesn't even want to show himself right now. He is so red, y'all. And I just don't get embarrassed about stuff like this. I just don't get, yeah. Somebody said again, crash and burn. I mean, you know, it's life. It is what it is. I told y'all, I forgot all the things for the past 3 weeks, including shaving my legs. You know, it is. This is called real life, guys. This is called real life. So I'm not sure where Wade is. Maybe he doesn't want to sit by me. Maybe he's like not coming back to the show until I use that razor. I don't know what's happening, but he will be joining us in just a little while. But until he gets in here, I'm going to go ahead and get things started because if not, I'm going to say just too many things that y'all probably don't care anything about. I only shaved because I was going into the pool. Our neighborhood pool is not opening. Like, I'm like, what's the point, guys? This is like fall. Like, it's like, oh, Chase, what? I don't know.
Your mom just commented Harry Hope.
Is my mom on Facebook or Instagram?
Facebook.
Oh, my mom's on Facebook. She's commenting about my hairy legs. She raised me better than this to, you know, keep myself well maintained and groomed. But here we are. So anyways, that is my quarantine. I'm going to make it a goal on my quarantine challenge. Chase, by the way, I don't have any sound in this, so I don't know if that's going to be an issue when I need to actually hear Hayward and Star. Thank you guys for showing support, because, I mean, don't act like it's just me, people. I know better than that. I know better than that. So we are going to go ahead and get Hayward and Star in here. Let me see. Oh, by the way, before I bring them in, because I forget to say this every time. This is a Q&A tonight. Literally, you can ask anything. We've talked to Hayward and Star many times. We have talked to them about life. We have talked to them about discussing racism in the home. We have talked about establishing and maintaining priorities with your personal life and your professional life and how that works. They are the parents to 3 beautiful children. They're both educators. Hayward is an administrator. They are minister, like, they have it all. So leave all of your questions for them down below in the Q&A box. You know how you press the little question button, you put your questions there, and we will get some of those. Also, some people gave me questions on Instagram, so we're going to use those as well. So let me see if I can grab them in here the first time. Star, I don't see you. Can you request? And if you can't, oh, I see it. Maybe this is it. Yes. Guys, we're getting so good at this. I just feel like it's just, instead of being crazy, it's actually, what? Here he is.
My shirt's
We have him on Facebook.
Hey.
Here they are on Instagram.
Hey, Instagrams. Facebook.
What's up, guys?
What's up, my friends?
Yeah. How are y'all doing?
We're great. So they were actually listening to this whole spiel that I gave. Well, first of all, I invited people to do the quarantine challenge with me again because I need to set.
Oh, you're restarting?
I'm restarting. I'm getting back.
I'm turning the baby monitor on, everybody.
I'm getting back.
I have bath water on my shirt, and
this is called Dad Life. It might be bath water. It might be something else. But Wade, actually, before you came down here, and Hayward and Star, I'm pretty sure heard it because I could see their reaction on the screen on the monitor right here. So you went to the grocery store today, right? You went to grab some things, and then you come back, and I went upstairs to get ready. And Hayward and Star, you're marriage counselors, and you probably know what this means. I don't know, but their shirts even say it, right? And we're gonna get into that. We're gonna get into that.
Am I in trouble?
But I go upstairs to get ready, and there's a razor in a box sitting on the countertop. Is there something you would like to say?
You need to shave your legs.
Guys.
No, I broke a razor.
Oh, is that what it was?
Because I use it.
Oh. That was a very creative.
I do. I trim my leg hair. I got to maintain, y'all.
That's right.
Arm hair.
So he broke my razor, so that is why, in fact, I have a razor, guys, sitting. We'll go with that.
Good to know.
We will go with that.
You can't have long hair on the wrestling mat.
I'll pretend.
It pulls and hurts.
I'll pretend like I'm keeping it together during this quarantine. No, but thank you guys so much for joining us and coming back once again. I feel like this is like our 100th chat together. We should probably celebrate somehow.
I love it.
I love it.
We should count.
We should count. We should celebrate somehow.
And I had an answer for you about your marriage and about why you had that razor. And I think we're gonna help your network. We're gonna help the whole family now.
Okay.
What Wade is doing, what he was doing, he was loving his wife as he loves himself.
I'll go with that. Hayward, I take your word for everything, so I can't stop now, you know?
No.
I can't stop now.
Nobody can.
Oh, my jaws hurt already.
I'm telling you.
Here.
It's always a good time, guys. It's always a good time.
Always.
Between y'all's household and ours. Oh, my
You know
God.
it.
I'm telling you.
But I want to give you just a second. Go ahead and quickly. I know that everybody seriously by now, because it is probably like our 100th episode together. Go ahead and introduce yourself, and then we're gonna get into some Q&As for tonight.
Awesome. Starlet.
Yes. So we are Hayward and Star, daughter and son of the Most High God, and the brother and sister, the hope and way.
That's right.
That's right.
That's who we are now. Yes. But no, you said it. We have 3 beautiful children, educators, ministers, worship leaders. Well, sometimes we don't like to say marriage counselors, but we are marriage ministry leaders. I don't know. When people hear counseling, they like freak out.
You're like a coach. Like, I like the term coach, because coach is always trying to make you better. Like, You are
so we're just motivators, encouragers, but we do it all based on the Word of God.
Yeah, I've been blessed to have now just finished up my 9th year as an administrator. Come on, where's Shivy?
I know.
Where's Shivy?
Yeah, we need
Yeah,
we need this.
But yeah, I mean, 9th year, man, and just amazing opportunity to be able to be an advocate for children who need it the most. I serve the highest poverty rate in the county, children with the highest poverty rate. Our children, every major crime in our city has impacted our children directly. And so we advocate for children who need it the most, social, emotional, and educationally. And we have the most resilient children on the planet. You were there, so you already know. And we're just happy to be a part of that work in our world.
Awesome. Well, we are so excited. Okay,
got some questions.
Here's the deal. We've got questions all over the place. Like, we've got all kinds of questions. They range on a broad spectrum of different topics that we've discussed with you guys, or they've heard you discuss at Get Your Virtual Teach On or Get Your Virtual Lead On. So I figured we would start with just some educational questions, because the big conversation right now, and there were several questions about this, especially Hayward, with you being an administrator, but the current talk right now is what in the world is happening going into next year. So they're thinking that you have the answer for that, Hayward. Is that you have all the?
Yes, I have the same answers they have.
No, but their question specifically was, as an administrator, have you been told what the plan is for next year? And if you haven't, because I think that so many teachers are feeling this right now, how, as an administrator, and Star, you too as an educator, how are you preparing your staff for next year? Because obviously, you know, we typically leave the school year with things that we need to either keep in mind or be focused on during the summer, or things that we should just be thinking about heading into the year. And so how are you preparing your staff? How are you preparing yourselves? Because we don't have any answers, and we don't know if we're going to be back in the classroom or if we're going to be digital learning, or what it's going to look like, or if it's going to be a hybrid of both. So can you just speak to maybe what you shared with your staff, or how you're kind of preparing yourselves for a new year next year?
Right. I feel like every time we talk, you ask a question, it's something I just finished handling that day. Literally, we've been working, we're creating a task force right now. Our assistant principal has been phenomenal at looking through this huge document that the State Department has already sent out with a lot of recommendations. But let me tell you, though, as the leader of the school, people can give you all types of recommendations, but everything doesn't fit the population, the team, and the people you serve. So let me tell you what we're doing right now. And we talk about it all the time as the 4 of us. The word is serve. So the first thing we do is we listen. That's what we're doing right now. We have a survey that is going out to listen to the comfort levels of our parents, of our children, of the community. And we're finding out from them, how do they feel? Do they want to come back in the building? Do they want to do virtual learning? Do we want to do it intermittent? So what we're working on right now are 4 types of scenarios. The first scenario is, what will we do if everyone comes in the building? How will that look? Will it look like Costco right now? Will it look like Walmart? Will it look like all these, where you have these social distancing markers, and how many kids can sit on the bus at the same time? So we have one scenario there. Another scenario is a blended scenario. It was some in the building, some out of the building. Then we have, of course, scenario we'll work through a virtual classroom 100%. And then we have the intermittent experience, where we have some, you coming in for a certain period of time, maybe have an A schedule, B schedule, but we're doing that all by listening. But we presented them with all these 4 opportunities to find out what it is that you'd like to do. And so we're waiting on the results to come back from our community to find out where do they want to go. And then we're bringing a task force together, community members, teachers, students as well. That's a major voice, as well as our staff members. We've already started talking about this like as soon as we got out to find out what happened. So that's what we're doing. We're taking inventory that way.
Yeah. So some people are even saying they love the idea of a survey and sending that out, and especially if they have like a task force team or a team that's coming together just to get, because it was something we were even talking about today.
Yeah, it was dealing with kids here.
Yeah.
Not adults just going to a job. You're involving kids and children, so it's totally different than just a regular business. I mean, it's.
But not only that, like, you know, are parents going to be working from home, you know, or because parents are at some point going to resume back to their jobs and back to work, and then you are dealing with childcare, and like there are just so. These are the things that people don't understand
factors that play
about
into
education. They just want to make a blanket statement. Oh, we think that it should just be digital learning for permanently, right? And they don't consider, they don't consider all of the things.
I mean, as teachers, we think, and educators, the first thing we think of is children need to be in class and they need to have that social experience with other kids. But even taking that, like that argument, you can argue all day. It's whatever. Yeah. But take that away and you supplement the logistical aspect of where are these kids going to go? What are they going to do? These parents are going crazy. They need to be fed. Like the real tangible things, those are things that they are really going to stick to. And so it's one of those times where parents are like, I don't know what's going to happen, but we can't do this another year. Yeah. So I don't think this digital thing is going to last like that.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I wish we had answers.
We don't know,
I wish, but I'm just like, you know, go ahead, Star. Did you have something?
No, I was going to say the task force of the State Department of Education in South Carolina. They have a task force, and in their last presentation, the guy that was leading the portion talking about digital learning. The one thing he said was their team recognized and acknowledged that what we called digital learning or e-learning, what we called that was not digital learning. He said what we did as a state was just hurry up, put some things together, Google Classroom, Zoom, some assignments, and we called it digital learning, and we survived, and we just made it to the end of the year. But if we're really going to talk about digital learning and making sure our students are prepared for life and for the next grade level and everything they need to be college and career ready, he said we have a lot of professional development that has to take place for teachers so we can have true, effective digital learning and not just, we had 2 people show up in our Google Classroom session, and all of that. So we got a lot of PD.
Not only that, but I'm like, are states ready to make sure that every child has a device, that every child has internet access, that every child has access to food, to the needs that that are met, in a school system, in a school building. I'm like, there is I just get so frustrated. I mean, it really, like, I have to pray about it. I really have to pray about these people that are just like, oh, well, digital learning is the model. Let's just go to, because I'm like, you clearly know nothing. You need to go step inside some school buildings and start making decisions that are educated rather than just decisions that you think would work for the best for in your mind.
Hey, I'm sorry. Dion's in here. I think I can't see, or is that Dion? That's either Dion or Dion. I taught a Dion and I taught a Dion. So one in Pendleton and one here in Atlanta.
Oh, cool. Pendleton.
That's awesome. That's right.
So crazy. I mean, it's just a crazy time right now. But anyways, so we'll see.
I do want to offer this resource.
Okay.
Please. To the team. I'm on a steering committee for NIET. They're the National Institute for Excellence in Teaching. NIET.org. Spelled out just like that. NIET.org. If you go on there, there is a planning document there. It has so many considerations there. I've been blessed to be a part of this network, and they have placed so many. There it is, right there. They place so many resources and so many different templates and examples, operationally and academically, as well as how to support community, staff, and parents. I think it'd be pretty good for you, anyone who's watching, to take a look at and delve right into. I think you'll like what you see.
Awesome. NIET.org.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that. People are saying in the comments, and I think, excuse me, I mean, it's just so, I mean, the idea of students
wearing masks.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, y'all got something like
You good?
Stuck in my throat. I'm really good.
Oh, yeah.
I think I'm good. But Chase is covering his face over
Get
here.
us some water.
I promise I'm good. I promise.
Water.
No, but seriously,
Maverick.
I mean, when you think about it, I mean, yeah, middle school and high schoolers wearing the mask, okay, like it's going to be uncomfortable, they're not going to love it.
Yeah.
But when you're talking about Hayward, you're kindergarten, first grade. Well, no, you're intermediate, so you have
Third.
That's big.
Yeah, that'd be
Yes.
her.
Primary. He's
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. So, oh my gosh, Star.
Right.
That ain't happening.
Pre-K.
That's-
Star.
Pre-K.
Have you started inventing anything that could aid? That's what you need to be working on, Star, right there.
That's it.
I don't know.
See
And
that,
then
right?
the funny thing, did y'all see the Crayola advertising going on with the little colorful crayon mask? I'm thinking, come on, Crayola.
Right.
Like the
Like
kids
some-
will be like, look.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like, ain't no amount of Crayola smile
No.
or whatever is on the mask
Right.
going to help those kids wear that mask and keep it on.
No.
Oh my
Wow.
goodness.
Wow.
Okay, sorry. I knew we would kind of get stuck on that one, but it's
NAET.org was the was the
Oh, yeah,
site.
Instagram.
okay.
Oh, yeah.
Rain.
All right, so we're going to keep it with education, and then we're going to get into some
Don't
life
read a
stuff.
long one yet.
Okay.
Some
Okay.
of them-
Some of them are super long, guys.
Let's get warmed up
Teachers
first.
leave out no detail. Oh, there's a picture. If you're on Instagram, you can't see it. Y'all know on Instagram, y'all missing half the
Oh,
stuff.
yeah.
But there it
So
is.
cute.
No.
Oh,
Look,
wow.
he's dead
Oh,
sweet.
wow.
That's sweet and everything,
Yeah.
but
That's
no.
not happening. No.
Can you imagine?
Ain't no way.
They're going to
No,
be
it's
switching,
not the way.
changing masks. I like green better than yellow. I want your blue. Oh, my word. Teachers.
That's amazing.
It's going to be okay,
Yeah.
guys. It's going to be okay.
It's gonna be okay.
It is. Listen,
It is going to be
I need
okay.
you
It's gonna
all
be okay.
to know that. You've got to know that. It is.
We're
going
all
to
in
be.
this together.
Yep.
It's going to be fine. We're going to figure it out. Okay, so the next one is, how do I get, and this is a great question for both of you, how do I get to know my students well enough to know their culture and their stories? I have 400 students, and I only see them every other day, every other quarter, which is a quarter of how often every other teacher sees them. I have 60 hours with them all year with big class sizes. What are some strategies to get to know them on a personal level, know their cultures? I know obviously a lot of conversation around making sure that there is not only representation in our classrooms, but that we're opening up time for conversation and for students to be able to give, their opinions and share what things that they're seeing. And so do you have any suggestions for that from an administrative level and then from an educator level in a classroom that you would like to share?
Well, is that is that person like the guidance counselor or something? 400 students
I don't-
every other
they
day. I'm
didn't
trying to
They didn't
figure out.
specify, but I'm thinking maybe like if they
An
had a
activity
STEM
teacher
lab
or something like
like
that,
an
maybe.
activity
Yeah.
teacher where maybe it's
Well,
every
Which
other.
says a lot about that person because they
Exactly.
you know like they're trying and
Yeah.
they don't have
Yeah.
a classroom of their own. So
Yeah, I love that.
I love
they could
that.
just say
And-
that's
and
up to
our-
the other teachers. Yeah.
That's good. And so whoever asked that question, it's important. I want everybody to make sure that they are intentional about that. And so one of the things that I did, as an administrator, I found myself in the classroom a lot, doing a lot of model lessons and working with teachers. But one of the things that I did as a student, as a teacher, to make sure that our students knew each other's cultures, especially when you have a limited amount of time, whoever asked that question, that's when you engage in projects and you allow scholars to be able to implement or present their projects based on their talents, gifts, and abilities.
Yeah.
It was a strategy we had called Etch to Sketch, where they would get a chance to present a topic, but they had to research the topic, study the topic together in groups, and they all had to choose how to present the topic based on their talents, based on how they culturally interacted with others. And so if you use your talents, allow them to use their talents and experiences to present the topics, you can do that with a specific content area. Or you can also have them do projects based on their backgrounds and cultures. It is so critical for students to get to know each other's backgrounds and cultures. And I don't think that they can do that on their own. I think first, as teachers, you got to make sure you get to know them too. And so that comes with listening. Now what we're going to do is inventories. Like you can get student profile inventories to ask children questions like, what is your favorite color? What is your favorite holiday? How do you, as a family, how do you all celebrate your holiday? And just ask those questions that talk about their interests, and then allow them to do presentations centered around their interests. Even as a school, we did one time Christmas around the world, where students that come from different societies or different cultures, ethnicities, and backgrounds, we allowed them to share what Christmas looks like in their house, in their world. And we did it around the world, Christmas around the world. It was so amazing. Kids felt included because, again, their expression, they were able to express themselves.
Yeah, traditions. I mean, traditions are super important. Yeah. And I mean, I grew up way different than Hope, but I still have things that specifically remind me of Christmas Day or Christmas Eve, and Hope does too. And so even learning those things, I mean, we're very similar, but we're very different. And allowing students the choice, like you were talking about, allowing them to choose on what they're passionate about and what they're excited about. Then their personalities will come out. I think that's brilliant. That's a great idea.
Yeah, and so another question that kind of went a little bit deeper into it is not just getting to know them and getting to know, their backgrounds and what makes them them and what makes them unique and their interests, but how do you, on a daily basis in your classroom, and, Hayward, you do so much of this, I've seen in action with your school specifically, but how do you make every student feel seen, feel heard, feel valuable in the classroom on a daily basis?
Wow, that's loaded. And I'll tell you,
these are long. I know, that's what I was like.
We're gonna be concise. I want to be very concise to get as many questions as possible. But I'll tell you though, if you're really ready to make that commitment, I'll tell you, it doesn't start in the school. Many times it's outside of the school as well. You gotta go into the neighborhoods if you're real about it. If you're real about it, and you want to make up. Now, I'm known as the principal who knows every child in my school. Now, I thought you were supposed to do that. I didn't know that was an exception. I thought because your parents drop your kids off to me for 7, 8 hours a day, I better know who they are. I'm supposed to know every one of them. And so I make it a commitment to do that. I'll tell you, whoever asked that question, you got to be present in their lives, especially if you're an administrator. You got to be in the classroom.
He is present.
You got to be present. You got to be with them. They got to feel you. And so I take on a daily basis as an administrator, I make it up my point to eat lunch with different grade levels regularly. If you're a teacher, I did this in the classroom, you're going to love it. I had the regular popsicle sticks in a cup. Okay. Students will get excited about what you are excited about. You got to always know that. I put popsicle sticks in a cup. Every child had their name on the popsicle stick. Okay. They had the opportunity. If I chose out the popsicle sticks 2 names or 4 names, you get to watch this. Eat lunch with me. That's how I would act. And so we would make it a big deal. And we would pick the name out. The person that gets to eat lunch with the teacher today, sit next to the teacher and ask questions. And I get to ask you, pull it up. They're all looking like this. Marcus Jarvis. That's a real name, y'all. Marcus Jarvis. And he pulls out, Do you know what a child told me after eating lunch with me one day? This child told me, he said, Mr. John, when I sit next to you, I feel powerful. But it was because we made it a big deal.
You have that effect on people.
Wow. He was 9 years old, but we made it a big deal to daily spend time. Choose popsicle sticks daily and get 3 questions you're going to ask everybody. And I promise you on a daily basis, you get a chance to know your kids. You got to be intentional. You got to plan for it.
Yeah, but rapport is everything. Like when you're really trying to get, I have to say it again. I think I said it like 3 times already. He really does. I'm talking about he's all in the family. Y'all all in the family. Yeah. So if it's little league games, he's there. And then if it's recitals, if it's a church program, I'm talking about whoever the kid is, if they invited. There was one time when he was asked to serve as like go to the daddy-daughter dance, with a child that father could not go. Mm-hmm. And he went, got his tuxedo ready, and he was there at the daddy-daughter dance with one of his students.
Yeah.
And and so those are the things that he does, but he makes sure that our family is included on that.
Yeah.
So I'm talking, and there's times when, and rapport is everything.
Gosh.
When you literally make the decision that I really want to know who this child is, and I make that commitment to step outside of the classroom and become a part of their life. Oh my goodness. I've had so many parents to say like, Ms. Jean, if I hear your name in my house one more time,
right.
I said that they're going to do X, Y, and Z. And I'm like, you got to listen to your mom, And so I used to always tell my kids, even in my classroom, I'm not saying what's happening at home is right or wrong.
Right.
Even if I thought it was wrong. I'm not saying that it's right or wrong. Yeah. What I'm saying is, in this house, school, in my classroom, this is how we operate. But I'm going to respect you. You're going to respect me. And just like us as teachers, we don't want to sit through boring PDs. We want to work for people who know us, who appreciate us. Our students are the same way.
That's good.
They want to know us, appreciate us. We want to know them, and they'll do everything for us.
That's good.
Yeah, sorry, I'm totally. I don't want you to think that I'm trying to keep up with the folks on Facebook too, because they got questions as well. So I'm trying to make sure we serve the people, guys. I'm trying to make sure we serve the people. No, but I did want to ask you.
Hang on, I was not. Yeah, hang on. So
I felt like I was gonna be able to talk tonight since you bought me a razor. I just felt like
there were a few comments like if you.
That's what I was gonna talk about too.
Just about how you balance that and family.
Yes, we're on the same page.
Okay, good.
Good job.
Just making sure. So
love that.
I was gonna refer them back to the Get Your Virtual Teach On thing, but that's a little too late because that's what that was all about.
Yeah.
But could you just briefly break that down real quick? Yes, you are super involved with the kids and outside of school, but family's your priority. How do you guys balance that?
Oh man, and you said it. And it's like I said, they're a part of it too. We have committed to the idea that our family's mission is to serve others. Mm-hmm. So I was doing all of that when I didn't have children. Now I do that with children. But watch this. One of the greatest things that I do now, I get the opportunity to go to my children's games and my students see me at my son's game. Mm-hmm. That's beautiful for them. And they'll come on and see me. But I always say this, and I want everyone to hear this. I don't want to be called a good principal if I can't be called a good dad. Mm. I don't want to be called a good educator if I can't be called a great husband. Right. That's where it starts. And so the way we do that is it's simply priority. It's order. It's children come first. My students need to see me being a good dad to my children. And so I involve them. When I need to go to a game, I involve them. Now I can tell you, once I had my own children, I pulled back on going into all the games because you can't do everything.
You can't do all of it.
And so what do? It's quality more than quantity. So as opposed to the last times where I can go to every game, now I pick those big games that they really want to see me in. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Those games. And so then that covers. So now I realized I was going to 20 games and I could have went to 3.
Yeah.
and it would have made just the same impact. And so I got wiser in that. But I recognize that my children need to see the same thing. And so what we do is now we don't look at quantity. Those who ask the question, we don't look at quantity. And I said it before, even on my bonus session with you all. I don't look at quantity more than I look at quality, and I choose it that way.
Yeah, and we can go to, and then if we can't, we can.
We can, yeah.
If he's both goes, or if I'm going,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's that servant mentality. I mean, I think that's something that we've really been focusing on recently too. Is just what is God called us to do, and it's to serve. Yeah. And so we're all in it. In that right, Chase? He's part.
Chase just gets involved without even asking.
That's
right. Trying to be involved. That's why he's here every Monday and Wednesday doing better together. No, but it is so true. But I love when you say that because I think that you've actually said that on an episode when we were talking about marriage. And you said that, it's not always about the quantity of time that, especially when you have kids and you guys have 3 of your own. Exactly. It's not the quantity of time that you have together. It's the quality of time that you're spending.
It's a type of quality, like the type of razor that you buy for somebody.
Oh, there you go. Oh, man, that's good. That's good. That's what you did there.
Don't support that.
But you know what? It also goes back to the session you did with the wheel, as we're prioritizing things. It's not going to necessarily look like that every month, every week. You change it as you need to, because like you said, we have 3 kids, but it gets a lot easier because they're getting older.
Yeah.
So some of the things we can do quicker now, we could not do that when Imani was still in the car seat.
Right.
And, diaper bag and all of that. So the wheel keeps changing. It keeps changing.
Yeah. And so basically we're saying if y'all missed Get Your Virtual Teach On, you missed out, guys. It was good stuff. It was
We
good
enjoyed
stuff.
it. We enjoyed it. Wow.
And so, yeah, but it's true. I mean, that's your priorities are always shifting, and you're always saying, okay, if I want to make time for this, where does that time come from? It doesn't mean that I just do away with everything else. It's about fitting it in with what we already have going, because that's how you maintain priorities. It's about seeing where other things fit.
You got it. And it's about acknowledgement too. Sometimes you can make up for not being somewhere by just showing people that you are aware that they have some great things going on, and acknowledging that and recognizing it, and giving them a card that says, hey, I heard about that shot. We have social media now, and it's so many ways you can show people you care. It's just, I think people need to make it, and you said it also, Wade, about making sure what has God called you to. And so sometimes you can get so busy working. So you brought it up, Wade. You're so busy working for God that you're not working with God. Okay, because you're so busy that you're not doing what is necessary at the moment. It's going to make the biggest impact.
Yeah, that is powerful.
All right, so kind of staying along the same lines, I know we've talked about instruction and allowing our students to feel seen and heard, and there's a lot that we could definitely talk about and discuss there. But there was one question that I had that I wanted to get to, and it was, have your teachers had training about teaching and discussing racism within your school? If so, what did that look like? Do you plan on doing additional training? How do you handle, because I think the other night we talked a lot about racism in the home, and we didn't get to hit a lot on what does this now look like in a classroom, in a school environment setting. So can you speak a little bit about that as far as how your school discusses racism?
Yeah, it's I'll tell you this. It's when you teach at a school that's predominantly African-American, where our school is, and it's high poverty, we're having discussions all the time. It's unfortunate. We're having discussions all the time about how we can make sure our children do not live up to or do not respond to life the way sometimes people respond to them. We have those conversations. We are now being very intentional about incorporating trainings into it, because now we're recognizing that it's become now it's societally popular. It's becoming more normal now for people to have conversations. And so we want to make sure that our teachers are leading the way in these conversations, and that we're becoming a bridge builder in that effort. And so I have teachers right now as we speak that's reading books on restorative practices and things of that nature. But our conversations are always stemming around, how do we protect our children? That's what we've been, protecting our children from a society that will not give them opportunities sometimes based on where they come from. We spend a lot of time building them up, building up our parents, and building up our teachers. We have a book that that I have in my office called Teaching with Poverty in Mind. And I'm constantly using those practices and those mentalities to help our children to realize that they are not what people would define them as. And so we do a lot of just empowerment, self-empowerment, but we are moving towards now systemic training that's intentional about bringing those culturally responsive and restorative practices that will make sure that it's not something that we do based on the response, but something that we're doing based on proactivity.
Yeah.
So being more proactive than reactive, I guess, in the situation.
Because we don't want to build our children up to be always on the defense. Right. I'm always hearing about privilege. I've been hearing this term a lot about privilege and white privilege. I've been hearing that a lot. And I want our children to recognize, especially when they hear these terms, our children are hearing a lot of terms now, y'all. Yeah. They're hearing terms like I can't breathe. They're hearing terms like, of course, they're hearing terms like Black Lives Matter. You got to understand, when you have children that are listening to terms, if they're not defined, we got to be careful about how they're going to interpret what we're saying. You keep saying to a child, I can't breathe, those kids are going to get afraid. Okay, so while there should be a reality about what's going on and make them aware, we got to educate them. We got to educate our community on when they're saying I can't breathe. That is a movement to make sure that's not something that they have to say. We don't want them saying that. And so when we hear even terms like white privilege, we want our children to also understand that when you hear those terms, please understand that what those terms mean is these are basic human rights that have been denied so many times to African Americans. And so when you say it's a privilege, sometimes I want people to understand when they're saying those terms, I don't want our children to not think that they deserve those privileges, because what they actually are basic human rights that everyone should have. And so now we're in this space now where we have to now teach our children things that we did not know we'd have to teach them. Terms and languages and conversations, but now we need to, because we are building up the next leaders. We're building up our children and your son that will now be people that will be civil rights activists, civil rights, and it will stand up for human rights. And it's necessary, and it's something that everybody needs to be a part of. And that's why so much training is necessary.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to ask you that next, like, are you concerned, but, you know, kids have been at home, and especially kids that are a little bit older and they have access to social media, or their parents have the news on constantly and they're hearing these things and hearing these conversations, you know, but a lot of times not having the conversations, like you said, kids are just hearing things and hearing and picking up on the terms and picking up on the things that are being talked about and discussed, whether it be a white family or a black family, you know, I think that both children and from both families are hearing these things. How do we address that in school when kids are returning and that's something that they're talking about, or they're starting to have conversations with one another, or they're starting to debate what their parents said versus, you know, what their parents felt like those terms meant? Because this is something that is becoming, I think, very consistent language that's being heard in households right now. A lot of conversations being had. So how, as educators, can we be proactive to maybe have those conversations within our classroom ahead of time before it's a matter of playground talk or playground chat?
Right.
I think you can join the Be About It conference.
Yeah,
and,
for sure.
Find out from experts.
For sure. I mean,
listen, that's true. That's very true.
That's true.
Yeah.
There's a lot of wisdom about to come through that.
Yeah, because it's going to be necessary for individuals. See, people are afraid to have the conversation because they don't want to mess up. And I get that. You don't want to make the mistake. You don't want to say the wrong thing, because now everybody is apologizing now. Yeah. I hear more apologies now than I see actions being taken to redo or to right the wrong. That everyone's apologizing, or people are trying to have conversations. And I heard people say, if you talk long, you talk wrong. That's why I'm trying to shorten my words up a little bit. But when you talk long, you talk wrong, because the more people start talking about it and trying to stand up and say, we have been wrong and we have not done this. And the more they start talking, the more they start kind of saying things that are now a little bit insensitive. Yeah. Because you didn't learn the people you're trying to lead, or you're trying to serve, or you're trying to love. And instead of just apologizing and then saying that we're going to do better, it's so much talk. So everyone is bringing out this rhetoric. So much talking. So I think the conversation should be held, but it shouldn't be more talking than this should be listening. It should be a lot of listening and the training. That's why I love you talk about the Be About It conference, because I think if people start getting some knowledge, they'll be taught strategies on how to have conversations. And then we'll move into what you were going to say, because I know I said a thought that's going to lead into you're going to say.
Now, I was going to say, so when I'm speaking, I'm talking from mommy.
Yeah.
And I'm also talking from an early childhood perspective.
Boom.
And so my job in both fields is a nurturer.
Yeah, there you go.
And so even though the world is chaotic all around us, as an educator and as a mom, I just want my students and my children, they're looking for a safe place. They're looking for assurance. They're looking to know security, like they're going to be okay.
There you go.
I know what it looks like. I know what I heard. And so I've heard so many conversations from little kids.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, just the things that they see on a daily basis from the classroom. Or even my kids, if they hear the news, it's like, they're like, Mommy, everything all right?
Yeah.
Daddy, everything all right?
Yes.
What happened? And you can see the worry, the panic, the anxiety. You can just see it building up.
Right.
And it's almost emotionally frustrating and draining as a parent, because it's like, gosh, why are my kids going through this?
Right.
And so it's going to sound like, how is that going to work? But through books, through stories, through love, through affection.
Come on.
And so in all of that, like, kids just need to be reassured. Out of all the things that they've heard, out of all the things that they see, when kids love you and respect you, they will believe everything that you tell them. They would, even when you don't believe it yourself. Yeah. If I say you're okay, you're going to be okay, this is what's happening, this is why it's happening, but you're going to be okay because you're going to be the one that's whatever you tell them. Like teachers and parents, we have that S on our chest. It's invisible. We don't see it. We don't feel it, but it's there. Yeah. And the Bible talks about it. Like, God has equipped us with all that we need. We just got to find that deep place to know that it is there and I'm capable. And you have to fill yourself Fill yourself so that you can pour out to others, but you can't pour from an empty source or an empty bucket. So when you don't have it inside of you, then it's hard to make a child feel like they're going to be okay.
Yeah.
So my job, even myself now, I'm really, really trying to build myself up socially, emotionally, mentally to handle when they say, yes, you're going back. Because I need to be ready mentally for that.
Yeah.
I have to be ready mentally for that. Yeah. And so through that comes books, stories, reading, sharing, and making them feel like you're in a safe place. You're going to be okay.
That's good.
Yeah. And just reiterating what you guys always say when you come on here, love. Like love. And it just doesn't apply with kids and primary students. That applies with every human. So showing that it's coming from that place is very important.
Yeah.
We're looking at some questions.
Oh, sorry. I was knocked the monitor off, guys. What's the best way? Oh, goodness. I don't know if I can see. It's so hard to see. What is the best way to address that situation in a school, which is 90% white students that all eat free breakfast and lunch because we are a Title I school? I'm not sure what that, I'm not sure what
Click
that.
on it again so maybe make it bigger.
Okay, let me see.
Yeah.
Not the X.
So I'm trying over here. Wait. I'm trying, okay?
Oh, it disappeared.
It doesn't say, it says ... and it won't let me see the rest of the question.
Yeah, that's
I know.
Yeah, okay.
If you do that, it just puts it up on the...
Oh. Well, I don't know what I'm doing. I should know.
Yeah.
I had it together over here, guys.
No, you're good. You're good.
I had it.
Talking.
As you're doing that, anyone, especially for that question, because I'm hearing a little bit of the tone of it, you cannot forget why you are an educator.
Right.
We're an educator to enlighten, to educate, to give them what they don't know, to enlighten them, but to be servant leaders. And so the tone of that I'm hearing is that, well, our children may not experience what your children experience. So most of our children may not experience a life that your children go through. How do we still have those conversations? And Wade, you said that the last time we had a conversation, and that's that level of empathy. You know, why can't you all have conversations with each other? Why can't schools interact with each other? Why are we still living life in segregated schools? There's this there's still segregational racism. There's still racial assimilation. There's so many different types of racism that exist. And sometimes you can be practicing racism without knowing that you are.
Yeah.
And so there are conversations that need to be, yes, sir. There are conversations that need to be held where you're saying, okay, let's look at our world. All right, let's look at our textbooks. You talk about all the time, especially with Tisha and
I'm going to do a textbook challenge in a little bit.
Exactly. You know what I mean?
Put it up.
And so having those conversations, but now you got to do like an inventory. And I would even ask schools that may not look like yours, ask those administrators to come into your building. Look through your resources. Have conversations with your students and your administrators have conversations with our kids. Why do we have to learn in isolation? I think that's a big problem. So those who ask that question, don't learn in isolation. Get out of your building. And I will say that we will do the same thing.
One thing I want to say, because for people on Instagram, if you did not see it, Sarah Plum is in the comments, and I love how she stated this, and I know there has been a lot of talk around this when it's the talk of, I teach at a Title I school. I instruct kids that are in Title I school. And so she said that Title I is how kids eat, not how we address them or teach them.
Wow.
And
that's
so
good.
I mean, we say it often on here that Sarah is,
That's the only public school we've ever taught at is Title I. Like I taught at two different Title I schools, and they were not majority African American. But
flipping your thinking to how would you address it in any school? It doesn't, I mean, it's not about, I work at a Title I school, so I need to address it a certain way, right? And so I love that she brought that up. She's making some really great points. So please make sure, this is why the comments on these conversations are so important and key, that you're being involved and that you're sharing your thoughts and your ideas, because this is how we all learn from one another and get better. And so she's making a lot of great points. So if you're on Facebook, make sure that you're checking out her comments too.
And that's one of the things that y'all were talking about just now, Hayward, is just having those conversations, but then also from a place of empathy and love. I mean, I posted something on Facebook a little while ago, and I haven't been able to look at the comments yet, but I think it's really going off. But I hope people in those comments are just addressing each other from a place of love and for learning and understanding, because, I mean, we do. Everyone grows up, no matter where you are, with a specific lens. Like, it is what it is.
Yeah.
And especially in America, we grow up with a white lens, and we've got to understand what we've seen in our lens to discredit.
Oh, there's Sarah.
True.
She's in the comments over here.
Yeah, I've seen her.
She's in the comments over here now too. But she said too on Facebook that, you know, white kids, especially when that question was phrased, I teach 90% white kids, need to be talking about race because they grew up to be white polices, white judges, white politicians, white employers, and so again, having these conversations about racism. In homes, in schools, in all different types of environment is key to having, again, to normalize the conversation, to make it something normal and consistent that we discuss, not just when it's on the news, not just when it's in headlines, not just when it's trending on Twitter, not just when we're talking about it in the home, but consistently. And I think that is the key. It's not about what type of school you teach in, where your school is located, what type of environment you teach. It's about having these conversations consistently, I think is key. So, so thank you guys, and thank you, Sarah, for also adding to the conversation, the comments.
Thank you, Sarah.
That was some good stuff.
Yes,
okay.
You got to get out of labeling children.
Go ahead, Hayward.
You got to get it.
Go.
Yeah, you got to get out of labeling children. You can't label them. You can't label them by their socioeconomic status. I think that's why we have gotten to this place already. Even with the redlining of school districts, you're labeling them based on how they grew up or who they were born to. You got to identify them based on who they are, their identities, their characteristic traits, the content of their character. We've heard this before. Start getting to know the children so you can identify them for who they were created to be. You got to do our children better than this.
Yes.
And look, I like what you said, like when we said about it, like doing things in isolation. I mean, as ELA and reading teachers, come on, like, are the students their reading levels? You know, the thing we hear all the time, like, I'm not my reading level.
Yeah.
I am not Title I. I am not my social economic status.
Right.
I am Starlet. Teach me.
Speak life, y'all. Speak life, y'all.
Yes.
Let's do it.
That right there, that is it. I mean, that is it. And that is what, as educators, you know, that's why we do need to be evaluating our bias. That's why we do need to be looking at these components in our classroom, because bias isn't just about race. There are a lot of different biases that we can have within our classrooms. And so that is why these conversations are so critical to be had, and for us to let down the walls and truly look at ourselves before we can look at students. Yeah. You've got to be able to look at yourself before you can look at your students. And I think that is an important piece as well. So I'm glad that Sarah brought that up, because I think that, you know, the way that you guys capitalize on that with your points really just made that.
Double down on
really made that just it's such an important conversation. Let me see if...
What is your favorite activity, Hayward, that you do in school for your students?
Oh,
what do you get you get a kick out of it, you look forward to it every single year?
Man, every single year. It would have to be every single year the way we open schools. We bring out the band, cheerleaders from local colleges, the Chick-fil-A cow, heavy music, college students come in, and we load them up with community support. And it's unbelievable. It's loud. We wake up community members and neighbors. I'm in the boxing ring. It is bananas that first day, that first week, actually.
I mean, the Chick-fil-A cows there.
Yeah, it's huge to let them know we got you. We got you. I think that moment right there sets the tone for our year. And then we follow it up with our motivational assemblies at the boxing ring every week, every month.
What about you, Star?
Well, it's a little different for me right now, because I've been out of the classroom for a couple of years, you know, as the reading coach. But I look forward, I guess my favorite activity, this is going to sound funny, but it has to be field day. I look forward to field day every year. I don't care what school, where I am, what my position is.
I'm going to pick at you for that. I'm going to pick at you for that.
All educators, listen.
Field day.
Field day is a big deal. You know why?
It is.
Because the parents that I've looked for all year long, I have looked for these parents all year. They are at field day. They are cheering their kids on.
You're gonna get in trouble.
They're like, yeah.
You're gonna get in trouble.
My baby got that, and I'm like, I need you to sign right here. Did you get my call?
There you can see parent conferences at field day.
Conferences at field day, and I am my students' biggest cheerleader.
She really is.
I am
my gosh.
Students, I'm telling you, my students, we're winning every year.
Now, you say that, but let me tell you about her. Starlet puts on the great, I love our relationship. We come together. She puts on such great programs. She forgot about that.
Yeah, I mean.
Like, she puts together phenomenal Black History programs, phenomenal honors and awards programs. She's like the person that brings so many people together. Man, like, if we work in the same school, we have so much fun. But she does so many cool things that brings the community together with her programs. You forgot about that. It's amazing.
We do.
Her principal called me to tell me, your wife is amazing. Thank you so much. She put this program together. I never got a call from my wife's boss before, so she's got a lot of tools in the tool belt.
I mean, but yeah. Thank you, Lord. It's a lot of fun things that happen during this, but field day is a big deal.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's educational.
I loved it too. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I was gonna win tug of war. I mean, I might have trained with my kids for it at recess.
I train at recess.
I mean, it was just a thing, guys.
That's
it was a
cool.
thing. So we don't have much time left, and so I always love at the end to turn it over to you guys for y'all to bring a word to the people, because you always do, and I know that I always just everything that y'all say to me, I just soak it up, and it just literally.
That's the only reason why we bring you on.
Yeah, we just want the word. That's all.
Yeah.
That's really the
word.
This is so fun.
Well, I'm gonna say this real quick.
Yeah.
Make sure I'm gonna say it fast. Every educator, if this is the last time we do a live before the Kings, hopefully it's not. Hug your children. Hug them. I don't care what social distancing say. Hug them. The H stands for the how. Right now, we don't know how it's going to look. We don't know if it's going to be virtual. We don't know if it's going to be blended, but we do know the why. The hows may change, but the why will not. The why is you love them and you're there to serve them. And so the H stands for how. Let your why be guided. Let your how, be guided by your why. The O stands for, the U. Hug your children, all right? The U stands for understanding. Provide your children with understanding. No matter the uncertainties, no matter the unknowns, give them that understanding to let them know they're going to be okay. H stands for how, U stands for understanding, and the G stands for grace. You're going to be going through a lot of challenges, frustrations, and unfamiliars and uncertainties. It's going to be very weird, very challenging, very confusing. But make sure you give yourself, your students, your community, and yourself the flexibility to have that grace. Yes. Give yourself that space for grace. Hug your children. Give them that understanding. Make sure you know that your why has to be, your how is guided by your why. That's and make sure you give them that grace. Give yourself that grace as well.
Yes, and I would just simply say, really what we do is speak life.
Yeah.
And that is every area. Speak life in your marriage, speak life in your family, speak life in your classroom, speak life to yourself, speak life to your community. I told someone the other day, if we're going to just listen to everything that we see, and that's the final thing, what are we praying about? Why are we praying if we don't believe that something different is going to happen? We pray to see an expected change and receive that change. So we speak life in all that we do and just keep speaking it. And he says all the time, say what you want to see until you see what you said you saw, and then say something else.
Yeah. What's your first name, young lady? What's your first name? Hope. You all, there is hope.
Hope.
No matter how frustrating it is, no matter how challenging it is, I know what everybody is saying. I know there's a lot of anxiety. I'm going to go, I got to do something. While you're doing that, while you're fighting, make sure you understand that there is hope. We're going to be okay, and it's going to get better. Keep putting your works to your faith. It's going to be all right. Keep your hope.
Yes.
There it is, you guys. So, by the way, we need a soundboard. No, no, you were saying that I hope this isn't the last. I hope this isn't the last live with the Kings. If you're just looking at the comments, everybody's like, I feel so great after I hear a conversation with you guys. You guys just make me so happy. I have happy tears when I listen to y'all. So people would not come back to Better Together if we didn't have you guys back. So don't worry.
But then people also said that you sound like a great administrator. So are you hiring? Because we got people all over the country.
He started the
Listen,
like that.
I'll make space for you.
Go ahead and DM him.
There you have it. There you have it.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go. We got Title I money.
That's right. That's right. I'm telling you.
You guys, we love y'all. Y'all are amazing. I wish y'all lived closer. I wish you. Sarah Plum is saying to hire her as your AP.
Orangeburg, here they come.
Sarah, oh my God. Yeah, is that NASA and astronauts in space?
Yes.
She is our whole family learned so much from her during that. We were crying.
We was hanging on to everything.
It was so
Sarah
good.
set that up so much. Sarah, you did that.
I was like 10.
You had us crying. We were like Sarah is a great teacher. And you're a great leader. So come on.
She said she has her admin license. She's ready to go.
Oh, she's serious. Let's go. Man, I would love to collaborate with you, Sarah. For real, seriously.
That's good.
Okay.
Well,
I'll link y'all up in a little bit.
Yeah.
Here we go.
But guys, thank you so much. It is always such a
thank
joy. I wish y'all lived closer so we could hang out all the time because I know that we would. But thank you for speaking life into us and into so many. Thank you. That's all I have. That's all I can say to you guys.
Thank you guys. No, we really, really love you guys. Like, really.
Do.
Oh, well,
we do too.
Yeah, we do too.
Don't you worry.
But we will talk to y'all soon. We're going to let you get back to your family, and we'll see you soon on Better Together. Okay, guys?
Bye, guys.
Got you. I'm not going to beat my kids in chess.
Oh, Hayward and Star, they just always,
so if you want to catch Hayward some more, you can sign up for the Be About It conference.
You have until, it is the 29th, so you have until the 28th, the day before the conference begins, to be able to purchase a ticket for that. Yep. So you can check it out at beaboutitlive.com. I was making sure I had that correct. Friday night, we will be with our friend Shivy on his Teacher Talk Live show. It's way cooler than we are. It has all the sound effects, all the bells and whistles. It is amazing.
We're very good with it.
So you can check that out at 8 o'clock on Friday night.
Yep. Call me
we'll
Shivy.
be back next week on Monday and Wednesday, as usual. Every Monday and Wednesday is Better Together. So bring your friends. Let's have some conversations. We are now, most of us, on summer break, so this is the time that we get to unwind, chit chat, talk about some school, talk about some life, talk about some other things. But thank you guys for being here, and we will see you guys on Friday with Shivy or next Monday on Better Together. Bye, guys.